The studio behind the Days Before, Fntastic, just announced that they are closing down. Now, if this isn't the biggest exit scam I've ever seen in my entire life, I don't know what is. Basically, they just made an announcement a couple minutes ago. Today, we announced the closure of Fntastic Studio. Unfortunately, the Day Before has failed financially and we lack the funds to continue. All income received is being used to pay off the debts to our partners. We invested all our efforts, resources, and man hours into development of the Day Before, which was our first huge game. We really wanted to release new patches to reveal the full potential of the game, but unfortunately, we don't have the funding to continue to work. Lies. It's important to note that we didn't take any money from the public during the development of the Day Before. There were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns. We worked tirelessly for 5 years, pouring our blood, sweat, and tears into the game. At the moment, the future of the Day Before and Prop Night is unknown, but the servers remain operational. We apologize if we didn't meet your expectations. We did everything within our power, but unfortunately, we miscalculated our capabilities, and creating games is such an incredible, challenging endeavor. We're grateful to everyone who supported us during these difficult years. It's been a fantastic journey over the past 8 years. They have literally scammed so many people who've bought this game. They're claiming there were no pre-orders or crowdfunding campaigns for this simply because if there were, they would have to give those people their money back. They would have to give those people their money back. Always knew there was something off about it not having any pre-orders, any pre-order bonuses, because this game lacks so much content. These guys spent years of their lives scamming and building the hype up for this game, first of all, and scamming the fans out of it. The Days Before sales numbers, almost $11 million in revenue in first 3 days of early access on Steam. The Game Before was one of the top sellers on Steam when it dropped. Whether or not you put in refunds on Steam, Steam pays for those refunds back. Most of the revenue can go to the developer at that point. Everybody's saying the gross revenue around this game is around 17.9 million. 500,000 units sold at a $40 price point. First of all, you guys don't even deserve this amount of revenue releasing a piece of crap game like this. And to make it even more scummier, you guys literally jump shipped and ran at the sign of any type of adversity because you guys released a broken, buggy mess with this terrible excuse of an open world map. This game is marketed as an MMO experience. I don't care what nobody else says. It was never supposed to be an extraction shooter. Every bit of the marketing material before the last couple of months have been marking this game as an MMO, massive multiplayer online experience. That for a fact is very much true. On Steam, it's listed as an MMO. Every single website and media publication has listed this game as an MMO. And the fact that these guys came to everybody, all 500,000 people that bought this game, and dropped an extraction shooter with no evidence of it ever being an extraction shooter outside of the main gameplay trailer they dropped, I think just last month, when they were super vague about the gameplay loop of it, which I even brought up in my other video previously talking about this game, is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. And now they're shutting down the studio, which I personally think these guys took all of the money and ran. This is what I think happened. They received a whole bunch of revenue, win or lose, with some refunds or whatever. They received a whole bunch of revenue and just cut tails. They shut the studio down. These guys made so much money off of this scam ass game that they don't need to continue working on or fixing the game. It doesn't make any sense how they don't have the funding to continue to work, where even back then it was reported that they had volunteers working on this game for free. So what do you mean they don't have the funding to continue to work? It doesn't make any sense. Most of this game is ran by the volunteers. So what exactly is going on? Fntastic uses unpaid volunteers to help create the game. So what funding is exactly going on? Where's the funding going to? You know who it is going to? The CEOs at Fntastic. I've never seen some scummy piece of shit game development news in my entire fucking life. First of all, everybody should have knew this game was not ever going to be anything. When they took down most of their videos advertising this game and replaced it with just the main ones that show it to be more of an extraction-based shooter. The announcement trailer, even 2 years ago, shows you riding around a snowy, abandoned, what looks like to be a sort of New York City in the middle of winter time. The graphics looked amazing. The fidelity looked amazing. Everything looked cool as hell. Whatever, you make your own character, you're a badass cowboy dude. You're supposed to run into other players organically online because you know it's an MMO or whatever with stealth. This guy throws a grenade. Are there even grenades in the main game, or was that just for show too? I didn't even bother buying this piece of shit because I knew it was gonna be a fucking scam from the get-go. And I genuinely just feel bad for the people who bought this. Wow, more than 2 zombies you run into. Holy shit. You don't see this in the main fucking game. Look at this, a zombie horde. You never really see that in the main game either. A stealth section with zombies. can you even do something like this in the main game? No. I strongly think this game was fully developed last year. Like, they didn't even start developing this shit until last year, which explains all of the shared assets, the asset flips, the one zombie per fucking capita apparently, and just the shitty gameplay. This video has 46,000 dislikes. This was a video from 10 months ago. Is this place even in a finished game? It has to be, because it's the outskirts of that goddamn city we see all the fucking time. They didn't even bother making a cool map. They just literally asset flipped New York City and called it something else. This is how you know that they have not developed this game for a while, because out of this entire official gameplay trailer, nothing happens. You're walking around with a Fortnite character model, looking around, aiming a gun, and opening menus. But it goes to show you that they weren't really trying to like make a fucking game. They were trying to make something that was going to make them a shit ton of money so they can cut. And comparing this to the actual gameplay you've seen from 2 years ago is a massive fucking step down. It doesn't even look like the same fucking game. You have more gameplay featuring cars that I think you have to save up a shit ton of money to even get. You're doing all like off-road gameplay with the cars that I don't even know how much money you're gonna need to even get those cars in game. From all of the gameplay I've seen, you're just fucking walking around with your dick in your hands. And it pisses me off that these developers literally scam so many people out of their hard-earned fucking money. You can't even vault in the main game, but in this trailer you can vault. You can't do that in the main game, by the way. So which leads me to believe that these aren't the same fucking games at all. The RTX reveal trailer from just last year shows a completely detailed New York versus the actual New York that you get in the main fucking game. Desolate, empty, boring to look at. Official release date trailer from 2 years ago is showing off the city, showing off something they barely developed, showing off a game that never fucking existed. All of that massive amounts of wilderness is not a thing. Look how small the fucking map is compared to everything that they were trying to advertise beforehand. Most of the areas in this game and the changing day and night cycle is just not a fucking thing. Everything about the trailers aren't in the main game, which leads me to believe these motherfuckers never cared about actually doing like what the trailers was promising. They just wanted to make a zombie game to get a whole bunch of fucking money. Most I'm going to say about this game, fellas, like looking at the gameplay and seeing everything just changed and different and nothing really amounting to anything, and just seeing like, does this game have executions? Does it even have executions in the main game? Is that a fucking tank? Like, seeing all of this type of shit just pisses me off, because these game developers literally lied about every fucking thing regarding this game and has been vague about the main premise of this shit entirely. Absolute horse shit that they did this to people, and for them to announce that they're shutting the studio down barely 1 week after releasing a piece of shit unfinished game instead of just working on updates to fix the fucking game they promised is dog shit. Yeah, guys, this absolute dog shit. I'm sorry to everybody who bought this game and realized that the studio's not gonna fucking work on this shit anymore. The massive downgrade this shit has now compared to its first trailer, like literally 2 fucking years ago, is absolutely insane to me. And I'm sorry for everybody who bought this game. That being said, guys, do not buy the days before. This shit is garbage. So, you know, peace, guys. Stay safe out there. Love y'all.